Cristiano Ronaldo once said, "If you think I'm good, wait till you see Fabio Paim."
Hi.
Alright then, what kind of dude is this? And how could he really be cooler than CR7, you will ask? Let us explain. His story kicked off at Sporting Academy. Like Ronaldo, Paim started as a right winger and, even being 3 years younger than Cristiano, occasionally crossed paths with him in youth teams of different ages. Interestingly enough, when selling Cristiano to Manchester United, the Green and Whites were not that worried about the loss of a young star because they knew they had a perfect alternative: Paim. Why was Fabio so highly rated by the Portugal giant? The boy arrived at Sporting at the age of 8, impressing everyone with his speed, footwork, dribbling and vision of the pitch. When Paim turned 14, the Lions already received numerous calls and offers regarding the promising lad. Even Real Madrid and Barcelona followed the mainstream, although the most unexpected request came from the French Football Federation, who wanted to naturalize the teenager in advance. However, the guy was already involved in the games of Portugal youth team, making other options excluded. Sporting valued Fabio very much. The management believed they had a unique gem in their hands. Therefore, the club did everything they could to make the youngster happy and not wanting to go anywhere. Even before graduation, Paim began to bring his parents 13,000 euros in salaries home at the end of each month. For comparison, it was 10 times more than Ronaldo was receiving back then. Bear in mind that this was only officially declared income. As Fabio himself later shared, his deal included a whole bunch of lucrative add-ins. At the age of 16, a professional contract was signed with Paim, increasing his official salary to 18,000 euros per month. The boy quickly got starstruck and plunged into the life of luxury from head and toes. Nightclubs, elite branded clothing and, of course, expensive cars. With the amount of money he got, no wonder Fabio bought himself a Mercedes convertible and several other cool supercars. Just because he got tired of taking the subway train. He did not have a driver's license at the time, but there were already 5 expensive foreign cars in his garage. Moreover, 2 years later, the golden boy got his own villa with a pool. Not a life, but truly a paradise. And what about football matters? Here's where the roots of problems took place. Paim's debut at the adult level was constantly postponed. The management of Sporting constantly boasted of having nearly the most gifted footballer in the world within their squad, though for some reason they did not invite him to the first team and decided to send him on a couple of loans. Fabio slightly began to lose motivation and his agent Jorge Mendes realized that the client had been considered promising for far too long, whereas in reality he should have been realizing his potential in other places. In 2008, Mendes made use of connections with Chelsea and convinced the Blues bosses that Paim was worthy of a chance. But even after such assistance, the kid decided to mess everything up. He was seen wandering around discos, spending money on trinkets, violating the regime and eating what the club strictly forbade again and again. Naturally, Fabio did not grow to Chelsea's main roster. No questions were raised about that. His recurrent performances for the youth sports under the leadership of Brendan Rodgers, who, by the way, did not see anything special in the Portuguese and, on the contrary, only criticized the lad for his poor physical shape, remained his ceiling. Just 6 months later, Paim got kicked out from the team, and Mendes, after a tough face-to-face conversation, refused to continue cooperation. Fabio let Jorge down badly, and the latter did not forgive him. The slacker made his return to Sporting, but the Lions were done with believing in him, and after a year and a half, Paim found himself in the status of a free agent and had to find a new challenge.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Since then, Fabio changed clubs almost every 6 months and soon got to realize that he was becoming a mediocre performer. How to get rid of this feeling? He had only one scheme in his mind: to travel around the countries, try himself in various exotic leagues, earn money and spend them on easily accessible entertainment. Just listen to the list where he has been: the Angolan clubs Agosto and Benfica Luanda, the Qatari Al Kharitiat, the Maltese Mostar, the Lithuanian Nevesis, Union Luxembourg, and the Brazilian Paraíba do Sul. Still, he was not welcome anywhere. No one wished to sign a long-term agreement with such an undisciplined asset, and that was an obvious thing to note. In 2015, Fabio fell even lower. He was arrested on suspicion of a rape. But a month later, the case was closed due to a false testimony of a girl who just wanted to knock cash out of a former player. 3 years later, however, another trouble arose. Paim was accused of being a drug mule. The police found cocaine, heroin, marijuana, and 900 euros in his house and BMW. The culprit hid some of them in his shorts. The investigation revealed that for a couple of months, the infamous player thought of no other ways of income and lived only on money from the drugs he sold. Believe it or not, but Paim was incredibly lucky. He was sentenced only to 4.5 years probation, assigned 2 weeks of labor work in a correctional colony, and added a huge fine. While awaiting the verdict, the lad spent 11 months in a pre-trial detention center. Needless to say, all of Paim's friends rejected him and he could not even afford a good lawyer. People just hung up the phone. By the time the troublemaker was released, his reputation was completely ruined. But in 2020, he still managed to return to the #1 game. A helping hand was extended by the Polish club Staurowice from the country's 4th strongest division. Although still no information is given on whether Fabio still performs there, we want to believe that he has finally calmed down somewhere and tries to put his lifestyle in order. From a very early age, he was considered a phenomenon against which even Ronaldo should have faded away. But in practice, Paim was remembered by some either as an eternal partygoer with wind in his head or not remembered at all. At least he himself perfectly understands the overall situation.
Cristiano is out of this world. There is no comparison today. In the past, yes. At one point, I could do more than him, but I did not have what he had, which is the strength and desire to be what I wanted to be. He had a great work ethic, and I didn't have that. I would have preferred to have less quality if I had more of the other part. I would have been one of the best in the world, but no one is born perfect. I thought having talent was enough, but it's not.
Friends, so what is your opinion on Fabio and his story? Let us know in the comments below. Also, please subscribe and give a like to this video. Thank you all for your attention and see you very soon.